Good afternoon, traders. It's Simon at Kairos Capital Markets with the weekly review of Aussie dollar, pound yen, and euro dollar. So last week I told you I think buying and selling the dollar in both directions would actually be a risky move, just purely because of where we was on different time frames. And just to give an example here, this was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So the price never moved at all the whole entire week. It wasn't really a sell, it wasn't a buy. And although it popped up nicely here, the lower time frames doesn't really give as much confirmation. But for this week, I'm going to go up to the monthly chart. And here in the monthly chart, we had another pin bar here. So for me personally, the monthly is still looking it needs to reverse. The whole move up over the last 3 to 4 months definitely is a pullback to value if we are to actually have someone buy in later on. So 92.5 to 93 is where I'm looking at on the monthly perspective where price will go. When you come down to the weekly perspectives of that on the DXY, you got still my target area here. I just feel that it will put the inverse head and shoulder pattern here. Although we are putting a pin bar in as well on a bullish reversal on the weekly, this just shows you how the indecision of the US dollar is really showing now. So the monthly is looking bearish. The weekly looks like it could reverse up and go bullish. The daily looks like it kind of wants to, but it did break this trend line and has broken the daily 50 EMA. Obviously, we can't see volume because this is the DXY, so it doesn't actually show us volume. And to me personally, it doesn't really give me much confidence there. So when we pop down into the lower time frames now of this of the DXY, I was expecting this to happen here. We broke down, we popped back up. We're just testing a 4-hour 50 EMA at the moment. Again, I don't want to trade the dollar at the moment, just purely because the indecision, there's no clear direction here. So for me, for this week, I just want to stay out the game for the moment. I mean, the US dollar on the DXY can go to 95.5. We had 4 previous touches before that, so come up to 95.5 doesn't even make it bullish for me either. For me to turn bullish, it has to really for me to turn this bullish for the next week, it's got to do something like this. And then come down here. So effectively it puts in a higher compared to this one here, and then a higher low compared to this low here. It's got to do it before I actually change my mind to turn bullish for maybe a short-term trade. But over the medium to long term, for the remainder of the year, I am bearish on the dollar. I'm just waiting for it to confirm that, and that's what we're looking for. So going ahead now, I'm looking at the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar did lose a lot of weakness over the past week or so. Let's go with the volume here. And it had broke down quite nicely there. You had good volume as well, pushing price lower. So this is still obviously a bear trend at the moment. We never got a decent pullback. You could say these were the pullbacks here as such. For me, it hasn't really given me much confidence. Now, I know we are still trending downwards, but it looks like it's going to run out of steam a little bit at some point in the time. And we can see here as well, these the way the candles are, is this one move down. So it has been trending downwards. If you caught the top, it would be nice. If you haven't, then I think selling this pair at the bottom now is going to be quite silly. Bear in mind now, we can put a level of, say, 72, just for an example here, and we can see how we 1 touch, 2 touch, and bits of mess there as well. So it looks like it would want to move back up again to 735. But again, no, when you do look at the higher time frames of the Aussie dollar, let's flick there quickly, you can see the monthly was a bearish engulfing candle. So clearly 0.70 is going to be the overall target for this little move here. Whether we actually reach that in the next couple of weeks, months, or whether we move back up, test the monthly 50, then break back down again is, well, anyone's guess really as such. But definitely 0.7 will be my target on the monthly perspective. Just trying to find some value to get in at would still be a little bit of a problem. So euro dollar now. Euro dollar on the monthly chart has actually put in a beautiful low test at the level of 1.145. Also at 1.145, we've got the consolidation zone. It started in March 2015, and ended in July 2017. So really what's happened here, we've got this consolidation square, a breakup, and then a retest. Now the problem with this though is that we also have a retest of this triangle, which is obviously lasted for the last 10 years or so. So this triangle here, top triangle, is more stronger than this little square here. So for me personally, I don't think the pullback would be big. I think the pullback would be small on euro dollar. I still think 1.2 would be the overall target for the euro dollar to move back up over the next couple of weeks. I still have on my weekly perspective something like this, but obviously we do have this high test pin bar again. But I just feel that we do need to have a breakout to the upside just to attract more sellers in this market around this area here between 1.185 and 1.2. So this is where I'm looking for price to head next over the next month or 2 months or so. Put a couple of patterns in here, make like the left shoulder here as such, and then we'll break down nicely. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment, and I think over the next couple of weeks, or it's definitely in September, we will see a move higher. Now again, if you look at the lower time frames on euro dollar, you've got a very similar story to as the dollar index. So you've got this downward sloping trend line, which was broken to the upside, then broke back down again, and now it appears we are going to start messing around again. Obviously, it looks like it could make a head and shoulder pattern. Bear in mind that we've got the left shoulder here. This would be the head, and the right shoulder would be forming around here somewhere, but it still needs to move down for that. If I was to sell the market now, we are going against the monthly perspective, which I think will actually play out later on, and we'll see some more bullishness through the weekly perspective. So on the weekly chart, I'm looking for a break above this pin bar, and on the daily chart, I am looking now to break above the this level here. So a test of 1.157 would actually be quite nice, and then we'll move up higher, hopefully to the 1.18 and so forth. So I'm looking for a move like that overall. Obviously, I'll always wait for confirmation, as I always explain for you guys to do, and that's why I just say be careful, because these charts at the moment are very misleading. Okay, so pound yen. So pound yen, you know I had a trade on last week, which I explained, touched it quite nicely, obviously clearly broke that level there, but we have actually rejected the daily 50 EMA. So breaking back down again now is no surprise either. Obviously we had an inside bar here, so if you see the volume up, the volume picked up nicely, that's beautiful volume up, then we had this inside bar with really high volume there. Next day is a breakdown, that's Friday, and then today we're now breaking down again. Let's delete that for you. So what I'm expecting now really is another move down to 140, just purely because that does make a lot of sense. The pin bar on the weekly chart also represents that as well. We've got lower highs all the way down, so the market is trending quite nicely. If we look at the monthly chart now on pound yen, we have got a semi-bearish slash pin bar type thing there, so it's not really what I'd call confirmed, but at the same time we have tested the monthly 50 before. It looks like we're going to head back down again, so I will just for me, for the short term trade, it would definitely be down to 140 area. If we just zoom out as well, you can see 140 in the past. We spoke about this last week and the week before. 140 is key. The fact we just put a nice candle formation like that in there, that's beautiful. I would hope for more of a pullback. So if we look on the lower time frames now, pound yen, we can see on the 4-hour chart at the moment, overall the highs are getting lower. There's a lower high, lower high, lower high. Zoom out again, you can see that there. So yeah, I'll just be thinking that's what I'm looking for. Maybe look for a trend change on the 1-hour chart. Let's just have a look for you there, guys, quickly, see what there is available. Yeah, so I pull back to this area here somewhere along the line. So a trade like this here, you can get something like that there, and possibly down to 140 again like that. There's still a 3% trade there that could possibly be done. Obviously I expected the trade to happen earlier on in the past, but obviously it never didn't happen, so that's what I'm looking for here though. Okay guys, any questions, give us a shout. If not, I'll speak to you soon. Take care.